All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. Big episode today as we talk about Topps' promotion. Little trip to San Antonio for Victor Green Auto. We'll get into that. Trey Lance was traded. We'll talk about what that means for the hobby and the lessons learned there. Brian Gray is out as Leaf CEO. We'll talk about that. But Leaf did release some Neil deGrasse Tyson autos this week. Lou, curious if you bought one of those. Lou shrugs his eyes. So shout out to everybody watching. But yeah, a lot to get into today. College football is back. I'm sure we will not mention Ohio State nor Penn State this week.
No.
So big play of the week. Jay's been excited about it for a while. He's been telling us about it. So a lot to get into. But first, the usual. What's on your mind? Ty, kick us off.
Today is Tuesday, August 29th. I got a lot on my mind. I'm here in Switzerland. Fly home tomorrow. Been here for about the last 2 weeks. Second Card Talk episode from El Swiss. Popped down into Italy for a couple days, which was pretty nice. Saw some Pokemon cards. No footy cards. No Panini while I was down in Italia, but I've seen some Pokemon packs. Some French. I got the French packs here. Calvin Ridley's on my mind, just randomly. I feel like he's starting to bubble up, make a little bit of noise.
Talk to me about why that came up.
A little T-Law?
Yeah, I just think Calvin Ridley, just it feels like there's some chatter. Sometimes when there's a lot of noise and then you're like, ooh, I see something happening here.
Did you see please tell me you saw the meme, the tweet about Calvin Ridley's quote on Twitter? It was like Calvin Ridley goes on record saying, I'm here to get back everything I lost last year. And somebody quote tweeted it and said, speaking like a true gambler.
I mean, yeah, that's
sounds right.
That's that 9 p.m. slate round of bets.
Yeah. You want some action. Kentucky. I saw the Kobe brand. Kentucky basketball is going to be wearing Kobe jerseys. Or like the Kobe Mamba, the little triangle. Because all the Kobe retros, the protos, are back coming out with Nike. U.S. Open, biggest tennis tournament in the world. Did you know that also in the tennis majors, the women and the men get paid the same? I thought that was pretty neat.
Interesting.
Yeah. 50 years, Billie Jean King was a big push on that. But my guy, Holger Rune, the Dane, 4-seed, lost in the opening round. Kind of upset about that. There's this company, ABD Collectibles. We've covered it on 137 a bit. It's kind of like a startup indie skateboarding sports card company. Good dudes, just like a couple guys that are doing their thing. All like historic memorabilia, inserts, shoe inserts, autos, what have you. It's
all around skateboarding?
All around skateboarding, yeah. They just did their fourth release around a big, I think it was a girl video called Yeah Right. And it's like, we talk a lot of whatever, we make jokes and talk and people are doing their thing and releases and cool, not cool, what have you. These guys are just like super actual legit older OGs in the skate game, clearly like collectibles and just like poking and prodding and moving along and doing some really cool releases. I think they're up to their fourth one. You looking at it right now, Lou?
I am.
It's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, I mean, like a patch auto P-Rod with what the P-Rod shoes is pretty sick.
It's pretty fire. And like skating is like OG community hobby stuff.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's just some cool crossover there. And
Tony Hawk with a piece of his ramp that he has in his house signed and numbered. That's pretty cool.
Right? And they're manufacturing it themselves. I think they're doing their own thing. And
yeah, that's not no event worn shit. That's his ramp.
Yeah, his skated ramp.
This is cool, Ty.
It's not a ramp that he put his name on. He skated on it, right?
Yeah, it's not a ramp he just touched one time.
Exactly. Correct. It wasn't a photo shoot ramp.
Exactly.
That's good.
FedEx Championship golf season's over.
Ty, real quick, 18 million. Was that what he won?
Yeah, Victor Hovland.
And what's his Chipotle thing? Is that a deal? Is that he just loves Chipotle?
Does he love Chipotle?
So he was standing on the green celebrating eating chips and queso from Chipotle. And then I looked it up and his thing, so I don't know if he's sponsored or not, but the story that goes around
is sponsored. Oh, by Chipotle, I don't know though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because the story was he didn't let himself get double meat until he won on tour. That was his rule.
I remember that clip. Something about having money or whatnot.
Yeah.
He's a fellow Scandinavian. I like his vibe. He wears Jay Lindenberg. He wears a lot of bad outfits and doesn't care. He also perpetually looks like he's stoned. He also swings it super weird.
He's good, though.
He's a different cat, but he's really nice. But so Victor Hovland, he won. But Scotty Scheffler had one of the best years since, like, Tiger, I think, in, like, 03 or 07 or something like that. Scotty Scheffler led in every category outside of putting. Only won twice, but was number one in money, shots gained, which is like the big stat in golf, off the tee, approach, fairway, number one in greens and regulation, everything.
Was his putting meltdown this weekend?
Every weekend.
Yeah,
he missed like 4-footers every weekend.
Did you see the one where he like drops the club and like
he's a mess?
He does that all the time.
All the times, like the tournaments you see people win, and it's like they'll go 4 rounds without missing a putt inside 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He misses all. And he's just like missing left, right, and center.
He's one of us.
So good because
he's one of
always
us.
right in there for birdies anyway.
That's the part that's crazy, right, Ty? It's because he's so goddamn good with the drivers and the irons that it doesn't even matter. They can't make a putt.
Yeah, he was like ranked over 100 and over number 100 out of whatever 150 something. I think of their tour card. He was over 100, 115, 120 in every putting category.
Crazy.
Still made the most money.
Crazy.
Yeah. Footy world's on fire. I know I'm going a little bit long here, but the footy world's on fire. Obviously, in the women's game, Spanish stuff. It's pretty unfortunate, sad, shitty what's happening there. And it sounds like that guy's gonna get eventually out. But congrats to Spain. They won the Women's World Cup. Some unfortunate things happened at the end of the game with the dude just acting like an ass. And trying to make a spectacle of himself and the whole thing. But the other Miami Messi.
That's electric, man.
Goes to New York. Puts on that little mini show.
Boys, did you see how much tickets were selling for?
Madness.
How about 5 figures?
Madness.
My buddy has had season tickets in Philly.
Yeah.
For years.
Did he flip the ticks?
They're amazing seats. They're like right on center field. And he's like, they're finally paying off because these tickets are worth a fortune. He's like, I went. He's like, I want to actually go to a game, that's like worth something. So him and his brother went and like sat front row.
I mean,
rows off the field.
He's every game since he's come over. I think he's probably played in now probably like 12 games or something.
He's played in every game.
He's made the ticket worth the money.
He's doing the right thing. Yeah. That's like what he should do.
He's like doing the thing every single game. It's pretty crazy. And then just to wrap up, Hershey Holland, Christian Pulisic.
Dude, on fire.
I was just over here in Italia, not far from Milano, and he's over in Milano, and he's scoring goals. So, yeah, he's one of, I think, like 4 or 5 guys that in his first 2 games has 2 goals. At the San Siro, one of the most famous grounds in all of football.
Are they just yelling in the streets about Pulisic or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
That's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah. I love an accent, man. Let me tell you what. It'll get me every time.
That's good. So those are all of the things that have been on my mind. And lastly, I was on a nice hike before I joined this. So I'm in a good spot.
Yeah, good for you.
Light week for sure.
Yeah, we are.
Lou, what's on your mind?
So we were talking earlier about the cyclical nature of the show and my life in general. This week is fantasy football draft week. So I've spent the week, number one, preparing and deciding where I want to go. I'm doing auction leagues this year for the first time in football, so that'll be fun. But then I'm looking at, you said Calvin Ridley, that piqued my interest because I'm walking around and I'm thinking to myself, like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson. Like, there's a lot of these guys where the prices of these cards where I want to get in and I want to, obviously to be able to say I was right and say I was on those and all that. But we say it every time and then it remains the same. Unless you are literally like the top of the heap, elite of the elite, and your name is not Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and probably upcoming soon, Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
You're just not that valuable at the position. And I don't want to go back into the conversation again because I don't think our opinions have changed about why it is the way it is. But just continues to blow my mind. I think these guys are so popular, and as fantasy has continued to become more popular and gambling has become more popular, these guys are more famous and their faces are more known. So I just feel like they should be more valuable, but they're not. So just something I was looking into over the last 24 hours online in between mock drafts.
In fantasy, who, like in your mock drafts, who do you keep coming back to? Who's on your team this year?
On my team the most?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully no one in my leagues are listening to this. But,
considering we're all league mates, we haven't even drafted yet.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
fine. That league's okay.
If I would never draft someone because Lou wants him if I don't want him.
Absolutely refuse to give.
I might if Ryan was one spot behind me.
Yeah, if it was Jay, then I might. But
no chance I'm giving out any of my picks. None.
I keep coming back to Garrett. I keep coming back to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I always find myself wanting to take Joe Mixon.
Just the value.
St. Brown is definitely.
St. Brown is definitely sneaky. Again, I gave a lot of flack last year to Goff. I'm like, this dude does nothing for me, but his numbers are actually solid. They've got some weapons. That division's probably open, right? We don't know what Jordan Love's going to do. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what Fields is.
Still.
I know what Jordan Dove's going to do. Be benched by week 5 for Sean Clifford, who's going to come in.
Hey, real quick. If Sean Clifford gets cut,
he's not getting cut.
Kellen Mond train, we need the Sean Clifford.
He's the backup.
Yeah, you haven't been watching. He's good.
The backup.
He's arguably better than Jordan Dove.
He was born to play in Green Bay.
Do you know how I don't get on? Listen, I don't get on Twitter. I don't get on Twitter hardly at all. And I got on Twitter the other day because I had 5 notifications, and 5 different people tagged me in Adam Schefter's tweet that the Browns released Kellen Mond. How did I get on that? That's a scam.
What do you mean it's a scam? It's your thing.
Right.
No, I just said if Kirk Cousins stinks, you know what you have with Kirk Cousins. It's no different than Ryan Tannehill.
I'll say this.
When the Vikings go 0-6,
no, if the Vikings run the clip.
Season.
That's Jay, man.
No, I think that Tyler and I did a really good job of reframing that quote. And
you can't do that.
But Rye, you are aware Sean Clifford is going to be a Green Bay legend?
No.
What do you mean no?
He's not going to be a Green Bay legend.
All right.
He stinks.
Wait, real quick, just to jump back to the NFC North thing. Right now, as per the DraftKings Sportsbook odds, the Lions are plus 140, the Vikings are plus 290, the Bears are plus 380, and the Packers are plus 400.
Wow,
they got to touch the starting quarterback. Yeah. Rye, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I know you still got to get into what's on your mind.
We got to finish what's on Lou's mind. We spent 15 minutes on yours.
That's fair. Is there much of a card market around Matt Stafford, and what is going on with Matt Stafford, and why do people keep saying he's not even going to play? He might get traded. His wife's saying he has no friends. It's like, what's going on?
I haven't followed any of that. Matt Stafford falls into the same conversation.
Be careful what you say here, because I think you're about to make a mistake.
No, he's just not desired in cards.
Yeah. Okay.
Joe Flacco had one of the greatest postseason runs ever, won a Super Bowl, and nobody gives a beep. No one.
Eli Manning in that category?
Yeah, they just don't care.
You can buy Hall of Famer that no one remembers.
You can buy Eli Manning for $100, $120. They're cheap. You can buy Peyton Manning and Eli Manning dual autos. The name, right? The most important name in football, we would all agree, is Manning.
For sure.
It is the name in football.
I don't know. Who was the old guy that lifted the trophy?
Come on, bro. The Manning brothers are pretty popping.
Yeah, but who's the guy?
What do you mean? Peyton Manning?
Who's the coach?
Vince Lombardi?
Yeah.
The Manning family?
The Mannings.
I get it. The Mannings are up there.
Okay.
Lombardi?
Archie, Peyton, Eli.
Keep going, you're right. On. And the kid,
so it's just
whatever his name is.
You can buy Eli Manning, Peyton Manning dual autos for under $1,000. That's what Joe Burrow autos sell for. So to me, it's it's just the way the card market. What do you say?
We're gonna get to the Trey Lance thing later. There was a list that got put out.
It's just the way the card market works. Is everybody wants the next Tom Brady, chasing the next Brady, and it's once you're kind of just mediocre and you're just never going to be Tom Brady, people will just move on. Like, again, like look back a couple years, like think of this on a short-term basis, a 5-6 year period. Do you remember what Dak and Zeke stuff was like in 2016 with Goff and Wentz? Remember how big that was? That was a big deal. Remember Deshaun Watson, Mitch Trubisky, right? That happened. 2018, right? Like who was 2018? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley. That was a major class monster. How many of those guys are worth anything now? 2019, Kyler Murray. Remember everybody wanted Kyler Murray stuff? I mean, Kyler Murray might not even play. Like they got the Texans #1 pick. They might pick 2 times in the top 5, end up with Marvin, Caleb Williams, and tell Kyler to see you later. Like, right? 2020, we go back there. Burrow, Hurts, Herbert, Jefferson. That class is loaded. Like that class is all time good, right? Yeah, your boy. So it's just like people just like once it's like, hey, you're not Tom Brady, you're not Patrick Mahomes. That's why some of these guys that sell so well are in that conversation. Jalen Hurts. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. Like eventually you either take the next step and you go to the Super Bowl like Joe Burrow, or you just kind of like fade away. Like, and you just become, no, I would have said Dak Prescott. Like,
okay.
Like Dak's 7 years in and he's just not done anything. Like he's 2-4 in the playoffs. Like what's Dak's greatest accomplishment?
Signed a great contract. Had a great comeback year.
There isn't anything.
His greatest accomplishment is that he plays for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Flacco's won a Super Bowl. Matt Ryan went to a Super Bowl. Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl. We've talked about it when Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl. You can buy his exquisite autos, his best card for under $1,000. So,
and it'll never
again,
get
it's
that
just
price
that's
again.
not the way the hobby works. Justin Jefferson stuff probably sells better than Matt Stafford stuff. He's the coolest to all the kids. Again, life outside of football also matters. Like Justin Jefferson's cool. Joe Burrow is cool. Like that matters. It's very different and I've seen a lot of stuff on social about this recently, and it's just a quick talking point, but like on the field performance is no longer the only indicator of success in the card market.
I would say it's like 3rd or 4th on the list.
Like Mahomes won Super Bowl MVP, and MVP, Super Bowl, and Super Bowl MVP. And according to the card ladder, I saw somebody post on this on Instagram story. According to like card ladder, his market had dropped 40% over like a 6-month or a year period. His market had dropped 40%. Won a second Super Bowl, won a second Super Bowl MVP, and won a second MVP. Right? I mean, dude, he's not even 30 years old and he's got all those. That's top 10, top 20 all-time quarterback. And his stuff drops. So it's no longer like I've talked about it a million times. Joe Burrow is the coolest dude in the NFL. He's the coolest dude in the NFL. Everybody loves Joe Burrow.
Joe Shiesty, Joe
Cool, Joe Burr, whatever it is. Like, yeah, that like he's cool. Justin Jefferson's cool. Like, so yeah, it's no longer on-field success directly indicates how well your card market does, right? Like it's just they're not synonymous with each other.
Yep.
Lou, did we wrap up what's on your mind?
Yeah, I got 2 more quick ones real fast.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. My other one was I was doing some research this weekend. I got into a Facebook group of Fortnite collectors.
Ooh.
And I got into a group chat, a buy sell trade group chat for Fortnite collectors. So I'm currently looking at like 5 or 6 different crystal shards.
It's the crystal shards, right? And aren't the European ones kind of like more highly valued? Isn't there? Wasn't there a character and insert in the Euro sets?
I don't want to say it for sure because I think I might not have all the information. But you're right about the Europe thing. There's something to that. Someone who knows Fortnite will comment down below on YouTube and let us know. But there's something there. But I'm interested in the crystal shards. I'm trying to figure it out. If I want to go like a 10 shard or a 9 hollow foil, or a 9 shard or a 10 hollow foil. I'm trying to figure all that out. So I'm going to make a play here one of these days soon. And then the other thing I want to do real quick was baseball season. This one's hard for me because it is August 29th, 10:22 a.m. The Astros just beat the Red Sox by approximately 500 runs, but I don't think they're good enough to win the World Series, so I'm going to tread lightly. The Yankees, Ty, I want to get your thoughts. 11 games out, worst team in the league, complete embarrassment, joke of a manager, joke of a general manager, joke of an owner, making mistakes on the field every single day, getting in fights. You got the other teams making fun of you and not even worth the time of day. Your thoughts?
Okay.
Oh God!
I did say we shouldn't have re-signed Aaron Judge, right?
Okay. Yeah,
I did, right?
Yeah, we got to pull
As-
that clip because I don't think that's what happened.
I'm
I think you
fairly
might have-
certain I was on the record of like, you got to let the man walk.
There
I
might
don't
have
think
been a
so.
little bit of flip
I
flopping,
would
but
no,
yeah.
I never.
Yeah,
He's
agreed.
not a winner.
Honestly,
I was like, you don't pay someone that much money for 10 years if they don't, because then what do they have to work for?
right.
Mm.
Well, some would say you have to work for a championship, but
That's what I'm saying. But
Aaron Judge is the guy who signed a $350 million contract, then did a photo shoot with Nike wearing 7 rings like
why
Michael
should
Jordan,
he
even though he
care?
has 0.
Exactly, but why should he care? Like, it's like whatever, you know. He
Yeah.
Even though it's
Gilbert
0.
Arenas. Did you see Gilbert Arenas quote this past week? They were like, "Would you?" He made it was like, "How much money you make in your career?" I think he said like 75 mil. They were like, "Would you give 10 mil for a ring?" He's like, "Hell no!" 10 mil for a ring. They go buy some dude's ring for $100
Some
grand.
guys are different. Some guys are different, man.
So, yeah, my thoughts on the Yanks. Jeter comes back as the GM, becomes the face of the franchise, brings us back to prominence. But you know, ever since the new Yankee Stadium opened, it hasn't really.
Okay.
It'll be a real shame if Derek Jeter comes back and does what he does with the Marlins and trades all your top prospects and just runs that team into the last place in the league and just
That's where they currently
embarrasses the entire city and franchise
Look at
and
that
all 27 rings. That would be a real
That
shame.
smile. Oh, I gotta say, that smile just reminded me of. I actually got prepared and ordered some T-shirts for Jets season, which I'm pretty excited about. I found some sneaky ones online. I think you're gonna be smiling about as well. Ryan, what's on your mind?
Well, we got to move on. We're about 20 minutes into what's on your
I
mind.
gotta
So,
know what's on your mind.
what's on my mind is just Ohio State football, right?
Not having a quarterback.
It's been too long. Win the first CFP, lost to Alabama. Should have beat Georgia. Should have beat Clemson. Just a million should have. And it's just like at some point you have to actually deliver. You can't be top 5 every year. Like you've got to have something to show for it. Beat Michigan. That's the number one thing that matters. Win the Big Ten. Win a national title. Like Ohio State is good every single year. They're good. Like they are good this year. Like the defense is strong. They have the best wide receiver group in America. They have the best pair of wide receivers in America. They have
that last year.
top 5, top 10 tandem of running backs in the country. Like
that last year.
yeah, I'm not arguing. You're right. Like you just got to figure it out at some point. And
Well, you kind of need a guy.
we'll see. We'll see what we
Marvin
got.
Harrison Jr. is that guy, but
Does he throw the ball? Does he get the ball every play?
Might have his high school teammate throwing him the ball. Hopefully that works out, but we'll see. Like, yeah, need it bad.
Got it. That's
the good news is you got 3.
Are they home this weekend, or are you guys like playing like Fresno?
Play on the road at 3:30 in
State
Bloomington,
A&M.
Indiana.
Got it.
So start out IU and then go. I don't know which order, but it's Western Kentucky and Youngstown State, and then
Don't look ahead too much. Don't get too ahead of yourself. What's the line for Indiana?
No idea.
He's not a
Jay?
gambler.
Jay, Bobby, can you pull that court?
I'm checking.
All right, let's move it on. Move it along.
I want to know what the line is. All
They're
right,
minus 30. They're 30-point favorites against Indiana.
30-point dogs on the road. There we go.
Nope, favorites.
Oh, 30-point favorites on the road. Yeah. Couple things to talk about. Got a couple interesting points. Leaf CEO Brian Gray stepped down, and Leaf quickly named his successor, Kevin O'Neill. If you're not familiar with Kevin used to be at Tops,
Beckett, right?
Tops and Fanatics. Went to Beckett early August, and then is at Leaf now. So not sure what happened there, but was at Tops for a long, long time. That's where I knew him from. Ended up at Beckett for a short stint, and then is now the Leaf CEO. Leaf released a statement yesterday. There's a quote from Kevin. It says, "I'm both excited and proud to be named the next CEO of Leaf Trading Cards. This position comes with big shoes to fill, along with the responsibility of continuing to produce high collectible, innovative products. I look forward to connecting with the many stakeholders of Leaf, including employees, partners, and collectors, starting next week."
Love that.
So, yeah, again,
what's Leaf's biggest annual release?
Oh, there's a couple, like really, really high end. You've got Leaf Pearl. It's 10 cards, think like flawless type thing. Mixed sports with like cut autos of presidents and, Holland, Messi, and Ronaldo. Like that is the one thing. Like I talk about it a lot. I do give Leaf credit. Like as a college football collector, they do a really good job of like making it. It's not impossible, but it's you can still get a college feel from it with no licensing. The patches are really cool, so I enjoy collecting it. They used to do Leaf All-American. That is by far the product I miss the most. Being able to get the high school guys before they're at Ohio State, like, miss that like crazy. I would pay a lot of money for a box or a case of some of the new stuff to be able to get some of the upcoming Buckeyes. So I definitely miss that. Again, they've got Leaf Vault. That's a cool thing. It's a box. It's 8 feet wide, has 10 random memorabilia pieces in it. Leaf Trinity is always a popular one across multiple sports. There's a couple cool things. Leaf Pop Century is always a great one. We've talked about that on the shows before with some of the rappers, musicians, actors, personalities, things like that. So, yeah,
they've been around. I mean, they're kind of
a while,
a legacy brand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and on here, let me see. I thought it said like 30 some years.
I think it's longer. I mean, are they 1948 Leaf? Like, there's Jackie Fields PSA 3 boxing? 48 Leaf football?
No, different thing. I don't know all the details, and I feel like we're gonna get caught if we. Yeah, but I know that they changed hands several times. Brian Gray had taken over as the CEO of the brand, but it wasn't necessarily like the legacy brand, but they still had the name, the brand loyalty on top of it. But now, obviously, new CEO, all that stuff.
Well, let me just shout out on August 28th, aka yesterday. Someone purchased a 2018 Leaf Grand Slam Auto Caroline Wozniacki PSA 9 for $80. This person's, instead of taking a future on Caroline Wozniacki, who is a women's tennis player, who actually at one point was engaged to Rory, and they broke it off before, who retired from tennis after being number one for quite some time and having 2 children, is making a return to the game and got a wild card entrance into the U.S. Open.
Isn't she married to the David Lee from the Knicks?
Now she's from the Knicks and from the Warriors for a little bit of time.
Wow.
Yeah, that is correct.
Those are going to be some athletic-ass kids.
Yep. And she's Danish.
Classic. I was wondering where all this information was coming from.
I just saw someone made a Leaf play, It's a nice little wager. It's like a future wager.
Yeah.
She goes to the semis, like that's cards 2x.
Yeah. I think the thing that Leaf does really well right now are these like influencer things, because typically you would say that's reserved for a Ginter type of set, but the way that they just drop these online randomly and they sell out instantaneously is pretty interesting to me. My first entry into it was the bowling cards, but I know they've been doing it before and they've done it.
The Livy Dunn one was humongous.
The Livy Dunn one was big. They just did another one too. There's been a bunch like that.
The Pete Weber one was obviously huge.
Did we do a deal with Leaf?
They just dropped the Neil deGrasse Tyson ones. Those sold out in like a minute at $99 or $199.
$99. Number 2, $199 sold out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, sold out.
Yeah, so I think those are interesting and cool.
Card talk set with Leaf.
I'm down. Kevin.
Brian Gray brought the brand name in 2010.
Yeah, they've been using the brand name.
Got it. So he bought the name.
Yeah,
bought the IP.
All right, I think for the next topic we've got to discuss the news this weekend. It broke actually when we were at trade night. We had kids trade night shop this week, and Trey Lance to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th round pick. The Niners giving up all of that capital will go down as one of the worst trades in NFL history. The Niners were able to turn that into, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Bradley Chubb, and like a 4th round linebacker.
I think that was incorrect, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, because didn't Tyreek Hill get drafted in 2016?
Yes. What does that have to do with anything?
Wasn't the trade in like 2019? But they traded the pick for him. Oh, I understand.
They gave up a 1st round pick for Tyreek Hill.
Right. I understand. So yeah, that is right. Sorry.
Yeah, right here. They traded one of the picks they got, they drafted Waddle. They traded one of the picks for Tyreek Hill. They traded one of the picks for Bradley Chubb, and then they used one of the picks on linebacker Channing Tyndale. Bradley Chubb, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle for Trey Lance, and they got a 4th rounder back out of him. That's crazy.
And they still have the best roster in the NFL.
Facts.
That's crazy. They're missing 3 premium picks, and they have the best roster in the NFL.
I will say there was a video that went around on social. I think it was on like TikTok, and it talks about Kyle Shanahan and how bad he is at quarterbacks. It talks about it like blowing the lead with Matt Ryan,
Yeah, that's
passing on Mahomes, didn't want him, like didn't want Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning for some reason. Like I don't remember all of it, but I would love to find it and be able to share it because it was like it opened up my eyes about Kyle Shanahan a little bit.
Everybody has an Achilles heel. Kyle's is that he's an offensive genius, can make pretty much anybody play competent quarterback in the NFL, but can't pick one of his own to save his life. That's just the way it's been.
He's good, and they're good. They're loaded.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's I think it's worth talking about because I actually, and Courtney, if they could find it, I saw a photo about it this weekend. But there was a like graphic that had went around like the top 10 Trey Lance sales of all time, and there are 6-figure sales, and you know this, the recent Wander Franco news, you know, couple things in recent memory, but this really brings up the point that, you know, there is real risk involved in we've already known this, but any thoughts like to elaborate on this a little bit more? But, you know, Trey Lance is now a backup in Dallas. It's probably better being the third string in San Francisco, but, you know, was expected to start. Those sales were right before the season last year. Like going into the season, he was hot. Then he gets hurt really quick.
Yep.
And then it's, you know, it was never the same. So obviously just major implications. I mean, those cards are worth a fraction of what they were. I mean, if Apple stock dropped 80%, people would panic.
Yep.
People lose 80%, 90%, 95%, 100%. I mean, probably not 100, but Wander Franco stuff is not clearly going to be anywhere near all-time highs.
Extenuating circumstance shouldn't be part of the conversation, but keep going.
Fair. Okay. But there's still risk in modern day player.
Always.
There's different reasons why they're not hot. Agreed. One is way more egregious than the other. I'm not arguing that. But the conversation is still the same about modern day collecting or investing. That's not even collecting. It's pretty crazy at some of those prices and just to know where they would be now.
Yeah, I think Ty can speak to the Apple stock part of it, but as we've always said, definitely don't consider a Trey Lance RPA on the same level as an Apple stock. If you're thinking about it that way, that's probably a mistake. Not probably, it's definitely a mistake.
Sure.
And then the other thing I would say to that is Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Sam Howell, Jordan Dove, all of these guys who are going to have a nice week one where they throw 3 touchdown passes and they beat a team by 2 touchdowns and everyone's going bananas because Sam Howell and Jahan Dotson have this incredible connection. Kenny Pickett, who a guy I love, Kenny Pickett's another example of this, where it's, you know, people get excited, they overspend for 2 weeks, and then you get into the brunt of the NFL season when it's week 9 and it's November 12th and you're freezing your ass off getting ready for work in the morning. And you're like, why is my Sam Howell card down 45%? Because it happens the same exact way every single year. And Justin Herbert is facing this. Justin Herbert, we haven't talked about this yet, but Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, I would say are like on the hot seat in terms of where they're considered in their position in the NFL. Dak might lose his job to Trey Lance. Josh Allen has to get over the hump. Justin Herbert has to do anything to convince people that he is who everyone says he is. All these things happen all the time. You just have to be very careful. And when you're investing in a guy like Trey Lance, who had played competitive football for a grand total of 6 games in college or whatever it was, that is an extremely high risk asset, and you need to know what you're getting into.
Yep. And again, we talk about it a lot, but the folks that Jay, we'll talk about that in a second. But I think the folks that buy those kind of cards, a lot of them understand the risk they take when they buy that stuff. Like, because if you again, look at the Mahomes market, right? Mahomes market wasn't always where it's at. Like, you were clearly smaller sales. Like, Mahomes it didn't have necessarily the crazy hype like the modern market does now. But Mahomes stuff, the people that bought in early made fortunes, life-changing money for sure. So it definitely works both ways if you find the right person. But just looking back on it, there's just not 6 guys from every class that it's CJ Stroud, Anthony Lou, you muted.
It's 1 every 3 years if you're lucky. Like, there's a million quarterbacks come out every single year.
Yeah, the 2020 class is really an anomaly, and we're not sure they're all going to be amazing.
And even that
But it's like the odds of Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and Will Levis all going into the NFL Hall of Fame is probably 0.
Definitely 0. I'll put my hand up. That's not going to happen.
I mean, just think about some of the all-time classes and how many guys got in. Like, I know 84's got a couple guys. I don't want to like mess that up. 2004 is one of the easiest ones to remember.
I've always been an Anthony Richardson guy, Bobby.
Rivers, Eli Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger. Outside of that, there's not a lot of classes that come to mind where it's like, yeah, there's a ton of Hall of Famers in there for a quarterback, at least, just for QB. So, Ty,
I just Googled best QB classes of all time, and I think this is an old NFL.com article, but the number 1 on the list is 2005. It's Aaron Rodgers and Alex Smith.
I think
isn't Eli Big Ben?
2004. That's what I just said. Is Eli Big Ben and Phillip Rivers?
And Phillip Rivers, yeah, that's definitely a really good one.
Yeah.
And there's 83 because that's Marino.
I thought it was 84, but yeah, 83.
Yeah.
Nothing gets me going like a late Sunday afternoon Phillip Rivers comeback.
Yeah, I used to love that guy.
Glove on, just slinging from like this.
Doesn't he? I think he coaches Pee Wee now. Like he's just grinding Pee Wee. Yeah.
Ty, any thoughts
on quarterbacks?
Yeah, in the conversation.
Yeah, I think Sean Clifford's going to have a fruitful career. I think there's a lot of hype around Anthony Richardson, a lot of hype, but he might actually be good from people that I respect, seemingly, at least fantasy wise, because the guy can run. People are pumped about Danny Dimes. Yeah, I mean, the combo we've spoken at length for the last 3 years of like where people sit in the spectrum, speculation, what have you. Yeah, Cowboys obviously sell well. Joey Burr, though, he's now sitting in a place of expectation.
I agree. There's a little bit of heat on Joey B.
I think there's a little bit of heat on anybody in the top 12.
A little bit of heat on Josh Allen, too. I don't think Patty M carries much heat this year.
Patty's pretty safe, but
for sure.
Burrow people kind of let Burrow skate by because he's been awesome. I would say now it's like they have to beat the Chiefs this year for him to go to the next level. Like
this again, but what my argument is, the conversation is the exact same for Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, like Joe Burrow. It's probably the same for Jalen Hurts. He's got to go. Like, he's got to get past the Niners.
I disagree.
Why? Like, I just don't understand why, like, we're giving Jalen Hurts a pass because he went to the Super Bowl. But Joe Burrow's only been 2 years ago, so he's now back on. Like, Justin Herbert and Josh Allen.
I'm just saying I wouldn't put Justin Herbert and Allen in the same category as Burrow and Hurts. But I'm parsing.
Yeah. If you're not Patrick Mahomes and you like, how many QBs in the league? I'm very serious on this.
32.
Yeah, thank you. How many QBs have won a Super Bowl that are active right now? Rodgers,
3,
Stafford, Mahomes. I don't think anyone else.
Well, what happens when A-Rod wins a second?
That means Joe Burrow didn't win a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes didn't win a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert won another year.
Russell Wilson won one.
Yeah, Russell Wilson 4. Good call out.
There you go. That's the answer.
Well, Jimmy G's technically won him with the Pats.
No, he doesn't get one.
How weird is it? This whole Tom Brady's just gonna like be coming out of the locker room with the team in Oakland all year.
Yeah, what
you got? Oakland? I mean, yeah, he's a minority investor. Josh McDaniels is in there, and Jimmy G's the quarterback. Like, it's very.
He walked out and was like, "Let's go, Jimmy."
He's like, "Go ruin their day."
Yeah, and then he's going to be in SF before you can blink your eyes.
All right, real quick, because I want to move on from this conversation. I think this is a conversation we could have for 50, 60.
Is it?
A little conspiracy theory. If the Niners struggle, you bring in Brady.
Before we go to the next segment. All right.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, you're good. This is a conversation we could talk about forever. The risks of modern day card collecting. While there is upside, downside comes with that. So a conversation we get to have literally all day. But I want to get into play of the week before too long. But Jay, let's pull it back up. This is a perfect example of modern day card collecting risk. So for those of you that are not watching, feel free to check it out on YouTube over there.
But Ty, there are some realities to the situation.
Yeah, there's certainly some realities.
CJ Stroud's cards too, or what?
This guy's a backup and he's selling for $300.
CJ Stroud in a worse position. He's a starter. He's got to lose the next 8 games.
Let's take the Penn State brain now for 1 second. And let's focus.
I'm just saying, classically, we go to the Penn State backup to prove a point.
You like Sean Clifford, Ty. You're a good guy. You would never tell anybody that you care about that collects cards to buy this card.
And you would never spend $173 on that card.
You would never do it.
I wouldn't tell someone to. No, I don't think I've ever told someone.
You have.
No, I know, but like you would not say this.
But I think that it's a better play than CJ Stroud right now.
Ty.
No, you don't, Ty. Come on,
bro. What happens if CJ Stroud goes like 2-15?
This guy might never play. At least he's gonna play.
At least in the exact conversation we just had over the last 16 minutes.
Yeah, there's $500 Sean Clifford autos. That is the whole point of our. That is the whole point of our conversation. If Sean Clifford autos were $8,
you guys had to go to the backup.
Yes, we know what you're
doing. Point when the starting Ohio State guy was more of a liability because he's got the starting.
Okay,
job.
Should we do Aiden O'Connell? Let's do Aiden O'Connell instead.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly,
but
I know you.
He plays in Oakland. Was a Purdue or plays in Vegas for the Raiders. He was a Purdue quarterback.
He's going to start games for them this year.
He used to get beat up.
All right, let's move on. That's absolutely terrible. Jake, let me pull up play of the week.
Absolutely. Wait, what about the Wemby thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that beforehand. Sorry.
Let's talk about Wemby real quick.
I get it. Point is, backup quarterback doing numbers. Why? Because he was drafted from nowhere, started at a Power 5 school for a long period of time, settling in with the coaching staff as the backup, being groomed to take over the guy that they drafted high. I get it.
The point is, it's a extremely risky, overpriced card that you will most likely not make your money back on if you're buying it today, August 28th or 29th, whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy changed everything, and the idea that a backup could ever play and get meaningful minutes and be something. We will have a play of the week 8 weeks from now. That will be about a quarterback that was drafted recently that somebody made a play on and made a ton of money. So,
and his name will be.
All right, we're moving on.
All right. Tops announced. Lou, you might be able to speak a little bit better this than I can. I think I know most of it, but basically we saw it when it happened. We talked about it on the show. The Victor Wembanyama Bowman Chrome auto at 99 looks like Ruben, Fanatics, Mike Mahan went over, got Victor to sign some stuff. There's a picture of Victor holding the card up, and it says like, what's it say, like first auto ever, or like my first auto? It says something
first
on
card
it.
I ever signed, it says.
Yeah, first card I ever signed. And it's a green Bowman auto at 99. Well, those were redemptions. None had surfaced yet. Topps came out and basically said, hey, if you have one of these redemptions, you have to redeem it by a certain date. I think it's like September 8th or something. It's like early September. If you redeem it, you are eligible to fly to San Antonio, where we're going to pick somebody to get that card in person. If you don't get the card, you'll still get one of the cards you were promised, that green out of 99. But basically, Lou, I think you were saying, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Flight and hotel included?
I believe your flight is covered. Will my travel expenses be covered? Airfare up to $400 and lodging for you and your guests will be covered.
Very nice. So,
pretty solid.
Yeah, pretty, we've never seen anything like it really with like a redemption card and like an experience like that. You obviously get the Topps Transcendent Party. If you get that, like that's a prize. Like I know that was, I think last weekend in Seattle, J-Rod was there. So Topps did that. That's been a cool thing. But with a one single card redemption like this, like it's a pretty cool thing. But Lou, you might have different feedback.
Yeah, no. I think it's like a really cool idea. I think there has been conflicting feedback in regards to Topps and Fanatics as they've started doing their own thing. People have their own opinions on a million different things, but I think this is cool because the redemption process is something that is historically extremely annoying, frustrating. You're waiting forever. It's not very user friendly. And for the most part, it has to be that way because there's realities of logistics of getting autographs. They have to go through the sorting of everything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Another one of the annoying things about redemption is you don't know which card you're going to get until it shows up at your door. So the idea of, number one, they're going to fly out 100 people to San Antonio, Texas is pretty cool. And everyone's going to be in the same room, or however many end up getting redeemed by then. And just, this is a cool little one-of-one opportunity for collectors where they're helping people who randomly either A, bought the card because they want the green one, or B, they just happened to pull it out of a break. And I think it's just a cool experience, and hopefully they can do a lot more of this. There's a million different ways to do stuff like this at different events, all-star weekends, championship weekends, draft weekends, all that stuff that I think they will continue to do and offer experiences to collectors in a world where everything is so expensive. These little upsides and surprise and delights are very cool, in my opinion.
I think it would be cool to put tickets.
Yep.
A QR code, like a card becomes a ticket to MLB All-Star Game.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about like an NFT and cards?
Not even not
Redemption.
even going there at all. Like you pull a card out of a pack, it has a QR code on the back, you scan it, brings you to Ticketmaster, uploads a ticket to your account.
Yeah, I mean, Topps has done a pretty good job of that so far. We've talked about this before in like big league baseball, right? Like a Ronald Acuna follow back or Vlad Guerrero follow back, like Mike Trout follow back. Like
speaking of Mike Trout follow back, how about my man just designing a sick horse with Tiger in Jersey?
Yeah, that was crazy. Is that where it's at? It's Jersey?
Yes, yeah, he's from Jersey.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. Represent.
Come on, bro.
I thought he was a Philly guy.
Nope, wrong Jersey, wrong.
So I was on my phone. I saw the post he posted with Tiger and then with his pops and his mom and being like, we're so pumped about this. And I was just like looking, I was like, what makes you like arguably the best baseball player of all time? Like, is his body just so perfect? And like, when do you know? Baseball is just, I don't know, this game that's like.
Is your question like what makes a great baseball player?
Or just like it's crazy just because he's one of the greatest of all time. And like you look at his parents, it's not like he's like his proportions, his body's crazy.
It's not David Lee and Caroline Wozniacki.
Yeah, or like I don't know, was he super fast? Is he like he just can see the ball? Like I think it's because he's stocky and strong and like but also can run for fielding. Like when do you know you're gonna be the greatest baseball? Baseball's weird. What was he like as a prospect when
early teens is when you can kind of start to tell.
Did he get drafted like he's the best?
He was a first-round pick, I believe.
Because Bryce Harper had that energy.
I thought, Bryce Harper was
played
like
out.
Bryce Harper was crazy.
But outside of Bryce Harper, I don't remember like a
Trout was 25.
Prospect being.
You just don't pay attention to baseball. There's a lot of guys like that. It happens almost every year. Same way it happens.
Bryce Harper
on a
was
smaller scale.
Mainstream. Like
Bryce Harper was Zion big.
Yeah, of baseball.
Yeah,
he
was right. But then you have your Otanis and your Vlad Jr.
Strasburg.
Yeah, but
Chris
Strasburg was too. But I feel like Otani was even like came into the league. Like,
yeah, I would say Chris Bryant, Strasburg, and Bryce Harper were all bigger at their time than Otani was.
Do you think it's possible that you guys are saying players from like 2008 to 2013 because that's when you were paying attention to baseball? You don't pay attention anymore? Is that possible?
No. I think Bryce Harper far more than Strasburg and far more than the other. Bryce Harper was like a cultural thing as like a baseball prospect kid from Vegas.
Valid. Okay. I don't disagree with you.
And I was just looking at Otani, like, what was this like as a 15-year-old living in Jersey? Like, did they know?
Did you know that you're the GOAT? Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Was he batting like 750 and everyone else betting like 250? Like, you know,
that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, like this is never not hit the ball. Like, what? How do you know?
Let's get into play of the week. I'm gonna look up Mike Trout's high school stats.
He was picked 25. All right, let's get into play of the week. Jay says we got 5 of them. They're a little long this week.
Oh my god!
What, batted 850?
He hit 531 with 18 home runs and 20 steals and 81 at bats. He hit 18 home runs and 81 at bats.
1 in every 4.
Okay.
He got a 200 over the fence.
Craig's Cards. Play of the week submission. Back at the National, I was at an older collector's table who had stuff not priced from a lot he just picked up. Within the stuff, there was a UFC card, a Sean O'Malley Modern Marks 2021 Immaculate Auto. Immediately asked the guy what he wanted for it, and I knew Sugar Sean as a big name and was fighting for the belt. Ended up getting it for $75. Fast forward to Saturday night, he ended up getting the TKO win over Aljamain Sterling and winning the bantamweight title. My card I had listed on eBay for $175, which was a bit above what his first year Panini autos were doing, but 10 to 15 minutes after the win, it got clicked for $175. Great little play from the National that covered some of my other purchases. Also, shout out to Ty for treating me and my boy HK right at the show.
These are the homies. HK is really good people. Friend is really good people, and they were running around looking for UFC. I think they even showed me this card, and this was pre him winning the title, and now kind of stepping into that next tier. That's good work by Craig's Cards.
Yeah, UFC cards are a blind spot for me, to be honest.
I just know O'Malley's pretty popular
super.
name. Him and Patty.
I saw a video of him getting his hair dyed. It looked like it took forever. It was crazy.
All right, Jay, what's next? All right, this is from Collector's Corner.
Kenny P.
Hi there. Here's an international submission for Play of the Week from Germany from a long-time listener. A couple weeks ago, I came across Panini's post about the rookie photo shoot instant releases featuring some of the only pro uniform autographs of Stroud, Bryce Young, etc. The Richardson's autos were already sold, but the Bryce Young autos at a 120 still were available at $300 apiece plus 17 international shipping. Panini also offered odds of 25, 10, and 101, which are pretty good odds considering there was only 120 base autos. The card came on time, base at a 120 for the National, which I was attending for my main job, and I took the card with me to shop around. At the National, the feedback was quite conservative, with most dealers passing the raw card. With all on-site grading options at 100 plus, I got aware of SGC's super fast turnaround, even at the $35 end of show level. So I decided to submit the card, got it back 5 hours later, double Jemmy 1010. The limited time I had before heading back to Germany, I checked with a couple more dealers here and there, but offers were barely above raw sales, around $6 to $650. As market with the specific card would be even more limited in Germany, I went ahead and submitted it with an eBay consignor, DC Sports 87, which I have submitted with before. Card went on a 5-day auction about a week after the National, ending at $930. After fees, I netted $800, making a profit a little shy of $500. Sometimes it's not worth taking deals for cash at the shows when you have a backup plan, especially as a European collector. It is mostly important to know the markets and their strengths. Patience paid off. I can't wait for the next deal to come around. Keep up the great work, and cheers from, is that Germany?
Yep.
Tobias.
Love it.
He made a bunch of money on this. I will say these cards are on fire now. I think these do 2K. They're insane. Yeah, they're insane. Look up, I'll pull it up. Look up Bryce Young instant auto on eBay. They're insane.
Is that just the availability?
Well, the rumor has been is that the rumor is that they're only that it could be his only pro auto. Yeah, a Bryce Young 1010. It might have been honestly this one.
Did it
just 5,400 or best offer.
Wait, is it the same one? Oh, I feel so bad. 16 of 190.
This is
right.
Are you sure it's 16? It could be 36 because this is 36 of 120.
5,400. That's 82 of 120. This is 36. You're right. This is 36.
Yeah, 36
this is 82.
36 of 120 just sold for 5,400 or best offer.
Yeah, I mean the raw did. Yeah,
$3,000 or best offer. Out of 10 did 15,000 or best offer. Another out of 120 raw did $2,000 or best offer, 25 or best offer. They're on fire.
Great job. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew this existed, obviously, but I didn't know this was doing this.
Wait.
I didn't buy any of them. I was like, no, I'm not sure. Like, wow, we'll see. Sure enough, regretted
every
it.
single time, man.
Is that the one? Bobby says that's the one. This card.
Like
I don't know if we've ever seen, and this happened. That sale happened yesterday.
And he made a ton of money on it.
This guy made a nice 500, and the dude turned around. 930. It's a different one. Yeah, Bobby. Just slacking.
All right, Young Auto SGC 2023 instant. Let's see what it sold for. It sold for $4,000.
Wow.
4x the price in 3 weeks.
No problem with that.
Flipped?
Yeah, that's what it sold for. It's $4,000.
The same exact card, you're saying? Cert, everything?
I don't know if it was the same card.
OBO. It was OBO.
Just BGS 10 or SGC 1010 sold for $4,000 or 5,400 or best offer recently. The actual price was $4,000.
Sometimes on eBay it doesn't strike, right?
I don't know what that means.
It strikes it if it's an offer. If it just gets binned, it shows it.
Yeah, but there's a August 28th, $53.95.
Yeah, that was $4,000.
Correct, but there's not a strike on it on eBay.
Yeah, don't spend too much time. eBay is not consistent enough. It's clearly the message here.
That's what I was just trying to call that out. Sometimes
just assume that a line or no line doesn't mean anything at all. Just look it up and confirm. It was $4,000. That's what I think the message
on 130 point.
Yeah, 130 point. Sales.130point.com.
It was fun to meet those folks at National.
Oh, you met them?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, heck of a play. Shout out to him. I mean, Bryce Young. Can't believe these are already even crazier, but
wow.
I like the play, moving it, knowing you're in Germany, a little bit harder of a sale. Get cash.
A little Germany play. And
Oh, great
nice.
play.
Tobias gets to come from Germany to the National for his main job. That's pretty sweet.
Very cool.
Good job.
Do you think if you're living in Germany, you focus on what games are played in Berlin and then you activate against that?
If you're in Germany, you hopefully have been following along. I mean, if you're in Germany and you've been making soccer plays over the last couple of years, you would have made a Christian Pulisic play, who was playing in the Bundesliga. You would have made an Erling Haaland play, who came up in the Bundesliga. And now Jude Bellingham, who is arguably hotter than Kylian Mbappe right now, went to Real Madrid and is playing some of the most beautiful football I've ever seen in my life.
I meant the NFL. That's fine.
Gotcha. But Jude Bellingham, I just wanted at some point get a little Jude Bellingham in there. Guy is absolutely on fire.
This will probably be the last one. You guys have to finish it. I do have to go. Cardboard Collaborative says, "Hey guys, I buy quite a bit on PWCC weekly auctions. In the beginning of August, I came across a 2015 Fleer Retro Storm Jambalaya PSA 10. These Jambalayas don't come up often, and I figured a 10 had to be a low pop. It's pop 10 across all characters in the set. With no comps, I threw a bid in and won it at 552. Once the card arrived, I threw it on eBay for 2K oboe just to see what offers came in. 4 days later, I accepted an offer for $11.75. Could have had out for more, but there's nothing wrong with a quick double up. Marvel overall may come down a bit from its highs, and there's still flips to be made when you focus on rare collector cards. Thanks, boys, and I hope you are prepared for the fantasy season."
Super prepared. Great play. I think there's 3 different iterations, maybe 4, of Marble Jambalaya. 2013, to my understanding, was the initial. The Wolverine from 2013 goes bananas.
Yeah, heck of a
Cardboard
play.
Collaborative. Good seeing you.
Yeah, heck of a play. This is all about like understanding that there are different plays and not everybody can watch everything from all different markets. There's, Golden, Heritage, PWCC, all eBay, whatnot, other places to buy cards. So gives a lot of opportunity to buy. So
why don't we pick off these ones so Rye, you're involved?
Yeah, we need you, Rye.
Because it's already 11 and you have play of the week as well. All right, Jay, just go to the next one. Let's just get them in. All right, Toady Cards. Wow, this is pretty crazy. It says, how y'all doing? Like, submit a play of the week, oddball, UFC. Pick this up. Jaltin Almeida, gold auto in Dallas for $250. 2 weeks later, I knew it was going to be a steal because 130 wasn't popping up, but I'd seen the prices before, and there was an offer accepted at $1,200 and $1,300. And I knew when he said $250, I had to get it. Turned around and sold it on eBay for $990 after fees, $825. Profited $575. Dallas is the move. Rare cards are the move.
Action. Gold
UFC.
All right, one more play.
Oh my God, Jay.
I'll skim through this. This is insane. It's lights out. 2020 Topps Chrome came out with F1 cards, getting popularity. Verstappen rookie cards was 5 years earlier, 2015 debut. He wins. You guys talked about the Topps Trump cards before. Like Pokemon cards, these are impossible to find in good condition and are often played. This also printed Elon's rookie card from 2019 limited edition celebrity set. I think I actually own one of those. Shout out, what's Yamwax, I think. Yeah, Yamwax popularized the card when he gave out the slabs to people in the hobby. See, we all got them. Crazy. Reading ahead. Purchased 3 of the copies in 2016 for $200 each. Verstappen rookie, graded at PSA. He got an 8, and a 9, and a 10. Has black edges, making it prone to chipping. After winning 2 championships, about to clinch his 3rd. You got him in the hands of Verstappen collectors. The 8 sold for $400, 9 sold for $900, and the 10 sold for $6,000. Wow. After grading and fees, he cleared $6,000, 10 times his original $630 investment.
Wow. Top Trumps, man. It's sneaky set. Every single time it sells for more than we think.
Yep. Top Trumps. It's a little UK-based card game.
Flip back through them real quick?
Shout out Sunrise Sunset for the love. What is this?
Jay, is that I thought there was one more. There's an earlier
There was a first one. I kind of want to give it to my dude who made a nice $500, but then got smoked on the secondary, just to keep him in the mix.
Yeah, I would go with I'm okay with the Verstappen. I like that one. I mean, I like all of them. Like, this is a really tough one. I mean, Dallas is great. I like this one with cardboard because you can buy them across multiple. I'm probably taking the Bryce Young. I like that, especially because he's international, offered it to people, ended up getting more by taking the consignor because he couldn't do it in Germany, understood the market. Like, to me, I'm probably going collector's corner.
I think this is our first German card show play, which makes it an easy winner, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Congrats,
grow the global hobby. Grow the global hobby.
All right, collector's corner. All right, real quick.
But the Verstappen was really good too.
Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty solid week. I mean, cardboard, again, doubling up on a quick auction flip. This will be one of the biggest release weeks in a long time. In case football 2022 comes out this week, Prism Draft Picks 2023 comes out after a year off last year, so I'm excited for some CJ Stroud, Jackson, and Smith and Jigba. Chrome Cosmic Baseball will be a very popular release. Garbage Pail Chrome Kids, Star Wars Chrome Galaxy, AEW Skybox Metal Universe, Skybox Metal Universe Hockey, Finest Bundesliga Soccer, Donruss Elite Football, Mosaic Basketball, Pokemon Paldea Partners Tin, Pokemon Holiday Calendar, Top Stranger Things Series 4, all come out this week.
Wow.
I think that there's also more Lorcana that hits September 1st at some point.
So I'll tell you about that in a sec, Ty. That's 3 football. That's a basketball, Star Wars, wrestling, hockey, soccer, Garbage Pail, Stranger Things. Ty, September 1st, I'm 99% positive. I would love fact check on this after. I got to go. But I think Lorcana drops in mass retailers on the 1st. I think that's the day it's supposed to drop in mass retailers. So I think September 1st is mass retailers get it. So if you pre-ordered it, Best Buy, places like that, that's when it should be shipping.
Yes, and I'm excited. There's some healthy action still going on, but honestly, I just want to play the game. I got a couple starters coming. Just pour a nice glass of wine, play a little Lorcana. Pretty excited about it. Want to come over here?
Next week, we'll talk all about the weekend it was at college football. Hopefully some more hobby news, but we'll see you guys
Good luck this weekend, Ryan.
You too. Peace, guys.
Peace.